Hey, what's up, everybody? Oh, there's something in my seat. Something. What is that? A pin? There's a pin in my seat. How dangerous? How dangerous a pin can be. Not just in life, but also in the game of chess. In the game of chess, a pin can lead to checkmate, losing a piece, losing a queen, or just all in all resignation by you or your opponent. So, today I've captured 3 of my games that include some very dangerous pins. So, we're going to get into this. 3 pins, 3 games, well, more than 3 pins. And I want to start with this game. Now, you can see the ratings 1600. If you're lower level, this will be great for you. You're going to learn something. Now, I have pushed pawns in front of my king. I have pawn stormed, I've calculated, I have threats all over the place. I've got this looking here, I've got, this check, if anything ever happens to this knight or the queen or anything. I'm building pressure. I can go king here and bring the rook over, and I'm threatening everything. And while my opponent, has, these 2 pieces defending his king, one of them is going to be kicked out very easily, and the other one, can't do anything about G and H. So we look at this position, and you evaluate. What can be done. You can take this pawn, and then this knight takes, and this is being hit. You can bring the queen in and threaten mate. There's you can push this pawn. Knight comes over here, and then it gets dicey again. But we're trying to attack. So, maybe we want this knight to move, in the future. If we bring king here over here, then push here. But then our queen's on the attack, so then we have to move the bishop, and everything's slow, and then, my opponent gets counterplay. And the last thing we want is for our opponent to get counterplay. And that's why I played bishop h3, introducing the first pin of our video. And it's a relative pin. There are 2 pins in chess. There's a relative pin, and there's an absolute pin. This pin can be just totally taken away by the queen moving, probably not there. Back 1, over here, just here, anything is fine. But also, this pin is not great because I'm going to need something to come in and defend this bishop. Otherwise, my plan to push g5 isn't going to work in the future. Because the plan is, go here, g5. Because it's check. And then you attack a knight. And the knight can't. And then the queen, and you're losing the knight. But they would just take my bishop because it's not defended. So, that's the game plan, alright? The game plan is to defend the bishop, hit the queen, come with check. Everything has to be forcing. But they decide they want to play g6. They want my knight out of here. So now I'm getting in with check. And you can play king here, but it's thwarted by this. And then the knight's being hit, my knight's protected, the queen gets hit. Again, we see that the queen can just take my bishop. So king up is probably the best move. But they don't play it. And then I find another idea that doesn't include hitting the queen, but opening up my queen, because my pieces want to attack the king. I don't care about this queen. This queen is whatever. It is bad. It is useless. It is looking at absolutely nothing in every direction. It sees nothing. It can't attack anything. It's not defending anything. It's got absolutely nothing. So I shut down their queen, and they give me a rook. I'll take a rook. All day I will take your rook. They take back, and now my queen is getting in. Now, you might be thinking the only move here is for the queen to defend the knight. That way it doesn't get taken with check. It makes sense. Nope, they take my pawn. And because they take my pawn, and they were thinking the same thing, it opens up right here. And you have 2 pieces attacking my king. It's exactly what you want to do. Actually, 3, because the pawn's here. And the queen's right behind the pawn. But what they failed to calculate was that my queen just takes the knight with check. Now there's only one legal move for black, and it is to block with the rook. And this is where the absolute pin comes into play. Because no matter what my opponent has done, bishop h6 simply just wins the game. There's nothing my opponent can do to kick my queen out. My opponent could try this, it doesn't work. My opponent can try this, it doesn't work. He can try to run, it doesn't work. Because no matter what you can take here, it doesn't work. No matter what is, let's say queen here, or knight here, or knight here. It doesn't matter. This is checkmate. Every move. It's mate in one. It's absolutely forced. It's game over. That's it. And that is the first pin of our video. Just attacking the rook, but finding the second attacker to deliver the final blow. And my opponent resigned in this position. Mind you, this was a 1631 that could not thwart my attack. So now we're going to move on to game 2. Now, I've gone through these openings because the openings don't matter. It is where we've gotten. Now, this was the same opening as the last game. It was knight f3, d3, and so forth. That's why there's a pawn on d3. Now, here, there's a brilliant move. This is a relative pin. Same as the last game. There's nothing attacking the king, so it's not like, the pawn can't move or a rook can't move. But this one I saw, and it comes with, you have to look for the undefended piece. What piece is not defended in this position? Well, the queen defends this rook defends this, and the queen defends the rook. The queen defends the knight and the bishop. This is defended by the rook. This is defended by the pawn. It's same here. The pawn is a little overworked. But if you were to take this, then the queen takes, and then this rook isn't defended anymore, right? You can take this, undefend this rook, but, nothing's attacking that rook. So to take that, it's not great. This is a bad bishop. There's no need to trade the knight off for it. It's not looking at anything. No prospects. And there's nothing behind it. So, you've got nothing to gain, nothing to lose. So I see this, and I'm like, hey, this knight is this rook is separated. Comes with the brilliant move, bishop takes a5. Because if the pawn takes, then you pick up a rook. And now you're threatening to actually take this. And it's coming with, let's say my opponent plays bishop here, attacking my knight, which is probably the best move. I can just take the queen, and after this, and I'm completely winning. Now, sure, I can play here first, hitting the knight. Rook back is probably the best move. Takes, and I'm up in exchange in the end game and a pawn. So it's +3 for me. I have the rook for the knight. We both have light square bishops, which means there's no theoretical draw here. And I just got the extra pawn. I can push this, and whichever takes is just gonna run up the board. But that was the second pin. I did win this game as well. I tried. This game had a lot of pins in it. Let's see if there was another one. Let's see. Rook over. I just wanted to get my rook into an attacking position. Yeah, there were actually some pins, and there was a pin that I fell for that my opponent didn't see. So I went here, and I'm cutting the king off. That's all I'm doing, is I'm giving the king no squares to move to. And if this ever pushes, I take, and I'm doubling up on that. So my opponent plays knight back, wanting to get rid of my bishop. And I know that. I know they want my bishop, but my bishop is too good. And I know that. So I'm going to keep my bishop. They play rook over. I'm not trading the rook, because I don't want this rook to have that open file. Even though if I hang on. I saw takes, and even though that I can take this pawn, I lose this pawn, and then if the rook that took here gets down here, I'm in a lot of trouble on this pawn too. And I can't go here because of check takes. So I see all this. This is everything I see. So I play bishop here. Again, another pin. Another pin just along the same diagonal as the queen. And I play, back, trying to hit my rook. I play rook here, attacking this pawn another time. So they defend it. And I play this move again, because I want the same thing, but now I'm just looking to win the pawn. Then they defend it with the queen. And I'm like, you know what? Fine, we won't go into that. But before I do, I attack the queen, just to see where it goes, and it just moves over one. So I'm like, fine. Bring the bishop back, protect the rook, and this is where I made the big mistake. Because bishop here is just going to win the rook. Because I can't afford to lose the bishop and save the rook. Like, I can go here, but then I'm just losing this. And I'm not very happy in this position. So I would have lost the rook. My opponent, however, missed it and attacked with the knight instead. And that gave me the ability to move down. And then, here comes the queen. And now I'm... because I saw this. And I saw it attacks this, and the rook in any future, circumstance, the knight can come in, whatever, bishop's coming in, there's the bishop, and I don't want to take it, because I don't want this knight to hit my rook, because my rook would be trapped, so I make them take, and now that the pawn is here, the knight can't come in and hit my rook is safe. Doubling up, I just get out of the way. I don't want any trouble along the back rank. They move the knight out of the way, and I'm pushing pawns. I want to pass pawn. I want something to go by. Takes, double up, and this, here's another. This is more of a discovery less than a pin. It's just my bishop sees all the way through, through the rook up into the corner. Two attackers, but if I sacrifice a rook, you're gonna take the rook. I take their rook, and now we're back to, equal pieces, but I have more pawns. I'm up 2 pawns. So they take, because look at this, another pin. I can't take the knight back because, it's pinned. So I play here, and I'm threatening mate 1. And that is the only threat I've got. It's just a mate 1 threat, and I'm hitting the knight. So they play back defending it. I take the knight. They take my bishop. I give a check, bring them out, and I give a few checks until I'm able to force a queen trade. And they don't take my queen. They resign after I took their queen. But it was a forcing queen trade, and I would have just run this pawn up the board and won. Created another queen and just won out. Yeah, and just like this. That's checkmate. All right. Again, another 1600. These are high level. These are advanced games. These aren't. I wouldn't call them high level games. They're not quite to 2000, but for like 8-9 million users on chess.com, this is high level. A lot of you. I was going through games earlier today, games that I played against people when I was rated 4, 5, 6, 700, and those people are still 4, 5, 6, 700 or lower, and it's just insane to me because they've been playing as long, if not longer, than I have been, and they're still stuck in the hundreds, and I'm up here, 1600, because I'm I've got the push, the drive to just keep going. Now, this last game is a game I played at work. Now, in this position, there's one pin that I'm kind of taking advantage of, though it does not work. The move I played is a mistake, I believe, but it was fine. Yeah. Well, the point is, I'm hitting the queen. That's the big idea, is I hit the queen. But I think takes is all right. No, actually, I think taking my rook was the best move. I think I look at this, and then I think this was the best move because just picking up all this material for the queen. You know, I'm only up. It's only +1 for me. Like I'm only up a pawn of material, but I'm also hitting this, and it's not looking great for white, but it's not dead lost either. But my opponent didn't do that. They move the queen over. Now they're defending the bishop. It was undefended before. The knight's defended. The queen is a little overworked though. So I give it a check. The bishop comes back. Well, now I feel stuck in this position because I feel like I'm going to lose the knight. But my queen is also hanging, and it's not attacking anything else. So there's one move. There's only one move in this position. E3. E3 just forces us back. That's all it does. Right? That's all you gotta do. You know, this is a 1700. My opponent is 1728, mind you. 1728. 1728. Remember that. 1728. All I have to do is move the bishop back. And then I have nothing. Because my pawn stopped. There's no discovery. My pawn is just stopped here. Now, I might play knight here, trade the knight off, whatever. Get more pieces into the game and keep attacking. But that's it. But my opponent doesn't care. Takes my pawn on e3, big blunder, gives me big advantage back. I take it with check. They just move over. Now, why they move over? Because if you block with the queen, I take the knight. If you block with the rook, then you block with the rook. There's really nothing to it. Blocking with the rook was fine. I think blocking with the rook was the best move. I don't know. This move, not good. This move gives me chances. And you might see it. You might see my big idea in this position because in the next 3 moves, I'm going to win this game. I'll give you a minute. I'll give you a minute to sit here and think about it. I'll let you look it over, see what you think. But I want to let you know that the pin is deadly. All right. You think you've seen it? Do you have it? I'll tell you right now. This move looks slow. Looks like it does very little. Unless you know how to utilize a pin. And the bishop has an absolute pin on the king. The pawn cannot move. So my opponent takes my knight. Right, it's free. It's a free knight. You get your piece back. It was inevitable. Of course it was going to happen. But you hang your king. And, he's sitting here. Why can't I take this? And it's because the pawn is pinned. Has a pin. And now, this was a 30-minute game. This game was, it was a 30-minute game I played at work. And then my opponent, and I honestly in this position, I'm like, man, I wish my bishop was here because this would be checkmate. But it doesn't matter because after this move, I was stumped for a second because I was like, why did I play this? I'm like, there must have been a reason I played this. And I was like, oh yeah, it's checkmate. It's just forced, and that is the absolute power of the pin. Thanks for watching.